Welcome to the SCP Foundation Classified Briefing. Today's subject: SCP-001, the Scarlet King. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel for continued Foundation updates. SCP-001 is not a physical anomaly in the conventional sense, but a primordial, metaphysical entity classified as Keter. Its existence is anchored to ancient mythologies and extranormal narratives, representing an imminent, existential threat to all reality. Containment efforts do not involve physical barriers, but rather an intricate, multi-layered series of esoteric rituals, conceptual suppression, and constant monitoring for its subtle influence. The anomaly manifests as a conceptual entity of conquest and destruction, its Kasi, throne, an allegorical representation of its dominion over subjugated realities. It seeks to breach the veil between dimensions, unleashing its grotesque ideology upon our world. Personnel assigned to SCP-001 operations are meticulously screened and trained, given the extreme psychological and memetic hazards associated with even indirect exposure to its lore. Maintaining strict adherence to protocol is paramount, as any deviation risks empowering its narrative and accelerating its apocalyptic designs. SCP-001's threat extends far beyond our local reality, representing a hierarchical anomaly that dictates influence across multiple conceptual planes. It is not merely a single entity but a nexus of destructive intent that seeks to subjugate and corrupt entire realities through its ideological expansion. Its hierarchical nature implies a chain of command, with lesser, often equally dangerous, entities serving as conduits for its will or manifestations of its influence. These subsidiary anomalies, though potentially contained, remain vectors for SCP-001's insidious spread. The Foundation's containment protocols for SCP-001 are therefore not solely focused on our dimension, but involve complex cross-dimensional monitoring and preventative measures to detect and nullify its attempts to breach from adjacent realities or manipulate lesser entities into serving its purpose. Understanding its multiversal reach is critical. Its very existence is a constant pressure on the integrity of our reality. Any indication of anomalous activity echoing ancient mythologies or demonstrating hierarchical control must be reported immediately, as these are potential harbingers of its intensified influence. The Foundation's initial awareness of SCP-001 did not stem from a singular anomalous event, but rather from the convergent analysis of disparate ancient texts and archaeological findings across multiple continents. Researchers identified recurring motifs, symbols, and narrative structures describing a cosmic entity of immense power and malevolent intent, often depicted as the King in Crimson. These were found in pre-Abrahamic cuneiform tablets, forgotten jungle temple carvings, and obscured medieval grimoires. Many of these artifacts exhibited inherent memetic hazards, inducing madness or violent psychosis in unsuspecting excavators, necessitating specialized containment of the texts themselves. Expeditions to remote, anomalous ruins consistently uncovered evidence of ritualistic subjugation and desperate attempts to avert an encroaching darkness, mirroring the core narrative surrounding SCP-001. The sheer universality of these geographically isolated discoveries underscored the anomaly's pervasive, trans-dimensional influence, solidifying its classification as a primordial, reality-altering threat. Personnel engaged in artifact retrieval or textual analysis related to SCP-001 must undergo stringent psychological conditioning and maintain constant, memetic counterfiltration protocols. A significant portion of our understanding concerning SCP-001's historical influence derives from the study of the Datavite civilization. These ancient people, whose empire once spanned vast territories, represent the clearest historical nexus between advanced human society and the anomaly's pervasive terror. Their recovered texts, often found etched into durable, anomalous materials within subterranean ruins, meticulously detail their interaction with entities identified as the Brides of the King and direct references to SCP-001 itself. Unlike mere fearful reverence, the Denovites actively sought to harness, or perhaps merely appease, components of the anomaly's power, building their empire upon ritualistic subjugation and a societal structure mirroring the hierarchical nature of SCP-001's influence. The catastrophic collapse of their civilization, a multispectral event recorded across several anomalous historical datasets, stands as a stark testament to the ultimate futility of such endeavors. Their legacy persists in their anomalous artifacts and structures, many of which still bear the conceptual imprint of SCP-001, acting as dormant conduits. Any Datavite origin artifact, irrespective of its perceived dormancy, must be treated as a potential vector for SCP-001's remanifestation or influence, and handled exclusively by personnel with Level 4 memetic resistance protocols. The pervasive, multidimensional threat posed by SCP-001 necessitated the development of the Seven Seals Protocol, a comprehensive, multi-layered containment strategy designed to prevent its full manifestation within baseline reality. These seals are not physical barriers in the conventional sense, but rather a series of highly complex, interdependent ontological anchors and reality sinks, each engineered to suppress a specific aspect of the anomaly's influence. One seal, for instance, focuses on nullifying its memetic propagation, another on disrupting its attempts to manifest physical avatars or brides, and yet another on countering its inherent anti-concept properties that erode causality. The protocols require continuous, dedicated monitoring by specialized task forces and a significant portion of our global resources. Breaches in any single seal could trigger a cascading failure, exponentially increasing SCP-001's ability to exert direct control over local reality. You must understand that the integrity of these seals is the sole deterrent preventing a K-class scenario. Any deviation from established monitoring and maintenance schedules for the Seven Seals Protocol is considered an act of existential endangerment. Despite the rigorous implementation of the Seven Seals Protocol, we have documented numerous instances where its integrity has been severely tested, or even temporarily compromised. These occurrences, colloquially termed broken chains events, represent critical failures in localized containment efforts, often manifesting as sudden, inexplicable outbreaks of SCP-001's influence. For example, Incident 001 Lambda saw Seal 3, which manages memetic suppression, momentarily falter, resulting in mass psychic trauma and anomalous behavioral shifts across a populated region before restabilization. Another instance, Event 001 Omega, involved a partial manifestation of an avatar entity, requiring direct engagement from mobile task force personnel with significant casualties, directly challenging Seal 2's efficacy. These breaches are typically preceded by a unique confluence of anomalous energy signatures and temporal distortions, indicating SCP-001's persistent, adaptive efforts to penetrate our reality. The increasing frequency and sophistication of these broken chains events underscore the dynamic and evolving nature of the anomaly's threat. You must report any suspected localized reality distortion or unusual energy readings immediately, as even minor fluctuations can herald a major containment breach. The pervasive nature of SCP-001 extends beyond its direct anomalous capabilities, exhibiting a profound and insidious psychological contamination effect on personnel involved in its study and containment. Extended exposure, even indirect, to its ontological signatures or memetic vectors can induce severe cognitive and emotional degradation. Symptoms range from obsessive fascination with the anomaly, vivid hallucinations, and paranoid delusions, to a complete erosion of logical reasoning and a disturbing compulsion to subvert containment protocols. This psychological erosion is not merely a stress response. It appears to be a direct, anomalous influence, subtly twisting perception and loyalty. Instances of researchers intentionally sabotaging monitoring equipment or attempting to modify SEAL protocols to aid the anomaly have been documented, leading to immediate termination and extensive psychological screening of all affected teams. The anomaly leverages pre-existing anxieties and doubts, corrupting personnel from within, turning them into unwitting agents against the Foundation. You must be hyper-vigilant for any changes in your own thought patterns or those of your colleagues. Any deviation from standard operating procedure or any expression of unusual sympathy towards SCP-001 is grounds for immediate reporting and isolation. The psychological contamination discussed previously is not merely a side effect. It can serve as a conduit for SCP-001's influence, occasionally culminating in the manifestation of what we term Crimson Court entities. These are not direct avatars of the anomaly, but rather extensions of its will, often taking on grotesque, distorted forms, or possessing individuals driven mad by its influence. Their purpose is invariably to weaken our containment protocols, sow chaos, and pave the way for a more complete emergence of SCP-001. We have observed instances of humanoids with unnatural strength and resistance, capable of localized reality bending, or entities composed entirely of shadow and malice, emerging from localized reality fissures during broken chains events. These servants actively seek to compromise SEAL integrity, often displaying advanced tactical awareness and an unnerving insight into Foundation operations, likely gleaned from previously corrupted personnel. Engaging these entities is extremely hazardous. They are not merely physical threats. Their presence amplifies the psychological pressure, making them a dual-pronged assault on both physical security and mental fortitude. You are authorized to use lethal force against any confirmed Crimson Court entity, but understand that their defeat rarely ends their master's influence. Recent analyses of anomalous incidents globally, correlated with ancient prophetic texts recovered from various civilizations, indicate a concerning trend we term prophetic convergence. This phenomenon suggests an accelerating sequence of events that align ominously with predictions concerning SCP-001's potential full emergence. We are observing an increase in broken chains events, not just in intensity but in frequency, alongside a proliferation of minor cultic activities dedicated to the anomaly in geographically disparate regions. Cryptic messages, often manifesting as memetic hazards within digital networks or appearing spontaneously in ancient ruins, speak directly of the Klemi, Scarlet King's awakening, or the Howling, shattering of the Seven Seals. Furthermore, reports of localized reality warping and the spontaneous appearance of Proto-Crimson Court entities outside established observation zones are becoming more common. These are not isolated anomalies. They are interconnected, forming a disturbing pattern that points towards a coordinated, albeit slow, advance by SCP-001. The subtle manipulation of reality and consciousness, alongside overt manifestations, suggests an escalating effort by the anomaly to prepare for a larger-scale breach. You must report any unusual or seemingly unrelated anomalous activity, especially if it resonates with known Scarlet King mythology, immediately and without exception. The implications of SCP-001's full emergence are unequivocally catastrophic, representing an absolute K-class extinction event. Its victory would not merely end human civilization, but fundamentally unravel consensus reality itself, yielding a universe reshaped into anathema, a realm of ceaseless suffering and primordial malevolence. Every anomaly, every memetic spread, every Crimson Court manifestation discussed is a facet of its insidious attempt to break the final seals. Our mission is therefore not merely containment, it is the preservation of reality itself. You, as Foundation personnel, are the last line of defense against this cosmic horror. Your unwavering vigilance, strict adherence to protocol, and immediate reporting of any deviation are the sole barriers preventing this ultimate catastrophe. The fate of existence hinges entirely on our collective ability to maintain its containment. This concludes your classified briefing on SCP-001, the Scarlet King. Stay vigilant, Foundation personnel. Dismissed.